Samit Chavan as well is on the line with us. Samit, hi, good afternoon. What is it that you're making of the bit of volatility which has crept into the markets? And would you read too much into 8,700 and then that dip below 8,600 today?
Good afternoon. Yes, in the first half, we saw a sharp decline after posting a high of 87, 87.10. But we believe that this volatility is likely to continue. Nifty is now likely to move within a wide band wherein 8570 would act as a very strong support, and higher side we see a strong resistance around 8750, 8780. Now aggressive trades are not at all advisable on both sides. In case from here on, if Nifty moves around 8700, 8750, that is the time to book out your longs and just stay light on positions. And once Nifty sustains below 85.72, we would see loss of momentum. So as of now, we would see a trading band of nearly 150 to 200 points, wherein 87.50, 87.80 would be a resistance, and lower side crucial support in the near term would be around 85.72.
Right. Samit, what stocks are looking attractive for trade then, considering we're getting so choppy, and ditto is the case with the broader markets too?
I think stock-specific action is likely to continue. We have one stock on the long side and one recommendation on the short side. Buy would be on Jubilant Food. The stock has clearly witnessed a breakout from a bullish cup and handle pattern. Volume have also picked up substantially. Thus, we would expect the stock to move towards 1345 over the next few sessions. It can be bought on any dip. Stop loss would be around 1198. Our other sell call would be on Bank of Baroda. We have seen a decent profit booking in the last couple of weeks in the overall PSU banking space. Now, if we look at the daily chart structure, this stock has clearly given a breakdown from a upward sloping trend line. So any bounce towards 149, 150 would be a very good shorting opportunity. We expect the stock to slide towards 140 and stop loss would be around 154.
Right. Mandar, what stocks are looking attractive to you for trade?
The first stock is Sun TV. This stock has broken a 5 to 6 year old resistance trend line. So joining all the tops right from 2011, this resistance has been broken and it's moving nicely in the intraday trade as well. So therefore, positional trade in Sun TV, buy with a stop loss at 450 for a target of 545. And the second stock is Petronet LNG. This stock recently on 6th of May has made an Aflac formation on the weekly charts. It's moving with nice momentum. It's broken its short-term resistance at 303 today in the intraday trade. Therefore, looks good to buy with a positional trade with a stop loss at 300 for a target of 332.
Okay, those are some interesting stock strategies coming in. Let's also address the big buzzers in trade. In the thick of earnings even now, and a lot of mid-caps have been reacting to their numbers too. So Mubina joins in as always to talk about all the big buzzers in trade. Mubina, let's start off with the first one. CCL Products, strong earnings there?
Oh yes, very strong earnings. Remember that the management earlier had given a bottom line guidance of about 25%, but this quarter the management has actually, or rather the company has actually been able to far exceed that. 33% is how their profit after tax has grown at 40.26% from 30.22%. Top line as well has shown some good growth, up 18% at 250 crore rupees, and EBITDA up 28% at 62 crore rupees has led to a margin expansion of a good 200 basis points. So it's a good set of numbers, especially when you look at the bottom line.
Okay, that's the word coming in on CCL Products. Samit, I'm not sure how closely you track CCL, but do you? And if so, would you have a strategy there?
Yes, as you rightly said, the volumes are pretty low, so we won't recommend this stock, but the stock is clearly in an uptrend. It's been maintaining its high top, high bottom formation, and now is trading in an uncharted territory. So we might see this momentum continuing over the next few sessions. But fresh buying is not advisable. Those who have already bought it at lower levels, they might trail their stop losses higher now from 220, 225. The base has shifted higher towards 240, 245. And in the near term, we expect a near-term move towards, say, 270 to 275, which is the next resistance zone.
Right. And Mubina, there's no taking away from the power pack which Bajaj Finance has been today.
Oh yes, day after day, Bajaj Finance goes to scale new highs, and today as well, it's trading at its record highs. Remember that since the time that the numbers have been announced, which was sometime last week, the stock has really rallied. In fact, it's rallied almost 26% from that day to till today in the last 6 days. Apart from that, Morgan Stanley as well has come out with an initiating coverage on Bajaj Finance with an overweight and a target placed all the way at 13,750 rupees on the back of valuation multiples. They believe that will sustain. They are forecasting an EPS CAGR of 37%. They're expecting market shares to continue. So very bullish note. And Bajaj Finance, along with its other NBFC peers, so Muthoot Finance, Bajaj Finserv, Capital First, all of them are rallying in trade today.
Mandar, your sense on Bajaj Finance now after this breakout that you're seeing in the stock right now?
Yeah, it's a clear, strong momentum, no doubt about it. But at current levels, if you ask me, would I like to enter the trade? So the answer would be no. I would not like to get into a fresh trade in this stock at current levels because the stock would not fit in my risk to rewards ratio. But yes, surely on corrections, one can surely take a view. If somebody is holding a position in this stock, then I would advise doing partial profit booking at these levels. So the reason is the stock looks stretched on the charts. In the short term, the stock in the last 2 months itself, the stock from 7,000 has moved to 11,000. So correction is due. So partial profit booking is advised to people who are holding positions in the stock.
Okay, that's the word on Bajaj Finance. Mubina, what's up with Ashok Leyland?
Well, it's the first of the month and auto sale numbers are coming out in full strength. Ashok Leyland, however, has disappointed once again when it comes to its July auto numbers. The total sales has come down by 5% at 10,492 units versus 11,054 units that it delivered in the corresponding year's July month. Now, this, of course, if you look at the expectations, it was estimated at 11,700 units. So it's been quite disappointing, and even the MNHCV sales, which is one of its big businesses, has come in at 8,182 units. So it's not been a good number for Ashok Leyland, and I've seen the stock react in the red.
Yeah, it hasn't been. Mandar, a word on Ashok Leyland or any other auto stock chart which stands out according to you?
Ashok Leyland is clearly weak. If you have to talk about levels, then it has got a support at around 87, which is an immediate support. But weakness is clearly there on the charts. I would like to in Auto Pack, I would like to talk about Bajaj Auto. I think this stock is good. It's got a support at 2600, and this stock has not performed as along with the other auto stocks. But I think the rally in Bajaj Auto could start soon, and till the time it trades about 2600, one can think of staying long in this stock. Targets could be 2850 to 2900 in the immediate short term.
Okay, Mandar, Sameer, gentlemen, good chatting with you as always. And Mubina, thanks as always for highlighting all the movers and shakers in trade. In fact, as we slip into a quick break, speaking exclusively with ET Now, Gurdeep Singh, CMD at NTPC, says that his company is all geared up to add 4,000 megawatt capacity by FY17.
We have 47,000